We live life so unconsciously. How many of us are conscious of what we do? Meditation is all about being more alert, being more conscious on everything we do. Attentiveness. We need to be attentive on what we do. Many of us are not attentive. We live unconscious most of the time. Our mind not there, isn't it? Body alone there, mind not there, unconscious. Once I was with a group of people on a sanctuary where you have a lot of elephants. And as we were entering, one stray elephant crossed the road. Elephant. So I was sitting in the front of the jeep and I said, hey, look, there is an elephant. One person sitting behind in the car said, where, Swamiji? Hey, I didn't show a squirrel. A squirrel I can understand. There you saw a squirrel. Where? Elephant. Where, Swamiji? Where's your mind? Are you conscious? How unconscious we are. Most of the actions which we do are all unconscious, mechanical. We are not conscious of what we do, and that is very, very important for us, to be conscious of what we do. A seeker can't live mechanical life. A seeker can't do actions unconsciously. A seeker has to be conscious. Most of the actions, what we do, are all unconscious. Isn't it? Because most of the actions which we perform are all mechanical actions. Repetitive actions. Same action again and again and again. Same thing we do. So naturally, so repetitive they are. Please think. How repetitive is our actions from morning till evening? You get up in the morning, brush your teeth, mechanical. Take bath, mechanical. Eat food, mechanical. Put on clothes, mechanical. Say, once you meet somebody, again you say, mechanical. Hello, Hari Om, very mechanical. Most of the actions, what we do are repetitive actions. When we are doing repetitive actions, mind is involved with something else. An action happens. So in that action, mind is not there. If mind is there, we are conscious of that action. Because it is repetitive, mind not involved, it goes away. Gurudev used to say, when you're driving your car or a two-wheeler and you're not even conscious, mind is elsewhere, you somehow reach your place safely. He says, you know what he says? Other people on the road are more careful. Because of their carefulness, you are reaching your destination safely. Please think, where is your mind? Or whether you're driving a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, where is the mind? Thinking of something, and yet we go. Most of our actions are all mechanical. Repetitive, unconscious life we live. We should break this habit. This unconscious life should go, and we should start living more consciously, more aware of what we do. If we are aware of what we are doing, we are in the now, we are in the present. We must be here. So how do we do this? What is the technique? A simple exercise can help. It is not possible to bring awareness into all actions all of a sudden, and it is not necessary also in all actions we should bring in awareness. But most of the actions, we must be aware of what we are doing. So how do we do it? Simple exercise. Today onwards, you choose some 5 actions. Not much, just 5. 5 actions which you do every day. 5 actions. Taking bath can be one if you are taking bath daily. Something like that. As insignificant as that, which doesn't need really full attention. Something of that ordinary. Choose 5 which you perform every day. Do them as if you are being tested, observed, watched. Do it with full attention. 5 of them. It could be anything. It could be chewing food. Do it with that alertness. Be conscious of that. Choose any 5 activities, and these 5 actions, please do it with utmost care. Fully aware. It cannot be unconscious action. It should be absolutely conscious. Start doing this. When we start living life conscious living is a great sadhana. To live life consciously, to live life with awareness is a great sadhana. So whenever we want, we can be aware of what we're doing. Then what happens when I go on becoming aware of what I'm doing? It would make me very clearly understand body is doing and you are aware of it. You are not even the body. Mind is doing, you are aware of it and you are not the mind. We very clearly realize a very important fact, that these two are not me. For that, I must be conscious of doing it. So choose 5 activities and do those 5 activities with utmost attention. Any 5. That will break the monotony of unconscious living and we start living consciously. So we can once again become more and more aware on how and what we do. We would be conscious of what we do. When I am conscious of what I am doing, I am in the now. I am in the present. When I am not conscious, I am lost. I am either in the past or thinking of the future, not living in the present. So conscious living can help. And for that, simple step would be choose 5 activities. Here all of them were unconscious. And the eagle comes, Garuda comes. Everybody becomes conscious again. Imagine the alertness of the bird, the eagle, who can fly so high and be alert on what's happening on the ground. From there it can see. Fully alert, isn't it? So eagle is a beautiful bird and comes and takes off the poison. That's a nice story, but actually is when you bring in that kind of alertness, we would start living consciously. That was the 6th point. Let us chant first 6 verses together.
भयो अंधियारो ताहि सो त्रास भयो जग को यह संकट काहू सो जात न टारो देवन आनी करी बिनती तब छाड़ी दियो रवि कष्ट निवारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो बाली की त्रास कपि बस गिरे जात महाप्रभु पंत निहारो चौकी महामुनि साप दियो तब चाहिए कौन विचार विचारो कै द्विज रूप लिवाए महाप्रभु सो तुम दास के शोक निवारो कौन ही जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो अंगद के संग लेने गए सिया खोज कपीस यह बैन उचारो जीवत ना बची हो हम सोजो बिना सुधी लाए यहाँ पगुधारो हैरी तके तट सिंधु सबे तब लाए सिया सुधी प्राण उबारो को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। रावण त्रास दही सिय को सब, राक्षसी सो कही शोक निवारो। ताही समय हनुमान महाप्रभु, जाए महारज निचर मारो। चाहत सिया अशोक सो आगीसु, दे प्रभु मुद्रिका शोक निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बाण लग्यो उर लक्ष्मण के तब, प्राण तजे सुत रावण मारो। ले ग्रह वैद्य सुषेण समेत, तबे गिरि द्रोण सुबीर उपारो। आनी सजीवन हाथ दई तब, लक्ष्मण के तुम प्राण उबारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब, नाक की फांस सबे सिर डारो। श्री रघुनाथ समेत दल, मोह भयो यह संकट भारो। आनी खगेश तबे हनुमान, जो बंधन काटी सुत्रास निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
First cause, ignorance. The sun is in darkness. We need to remove ignorance. That is the cause for all sorrows. Knowledge is the only solution. Second cause for sorrow, karma. Body identification is after that. Second cause is karma. Whatever actions we perform, we have to go through the results of it. And therefore, we should perform actions intelligently, and that knowledge we gain in satsang. Through satsang, we learn the art of performing right action, because action, when we perform, it's not just the action alone, the attitude behind the action. What is the motive? The intensity of sincerity behind the action. All this is taken into consideration. Therefore, a person who performs action, if he has the right attitude and the sincerity and performs in the spirit of karma yoga, actions performed with a sense of detachment and selfless, those actions cannot bind. That is what we learn in satsang. Cause 3 for sorrow. Identification with the body. Body is a tool, but we mistake the body to be ourselves. We don't see it as a tool, and that causes lot of hurdles on our way. Our peace is gone because of that. So we should know to use the body well and not pamper the body and keep identifying with it. Fourth cause, temptations. As we walk on this path, there would be enough and more temptations coming on our way. And that's the challenge, actually. In fact, in a way that makes the journey very exciting. But what happens is we fall a prey to it very quickly. Lord Krishna himself says in the Gita, Mama Maya Dhurattaya, my Maya is not that easy to cross. You may think it is, but it is not that easy to cross, because he could, the path could be of so much of temptations, deviations. Only those who have firm devotion, very, intense focus can reach. Otherwise, we could get carried away. fifth, lack of vairagya can be a very big obstacle on the way. If a person who has practiced vairagya, dispassion, who has dispassion, lives a very, very happy life because he has got the wisdom to know what he does not need. Many of us don't have that wisdom. Many things which we think we actually need, maybe we don't need it at all. So we go on craving for things which we don't need. And therefore detachment gets very difficult. So if we have knowledge and then we understand that these are not necessary, then it becomes so easy for us. So dispassion is something which is very, very important. Without dispassion, goals cannot be achieved. A kind of a discipline is needed for any job to be accomplished. Even service, if it has to be done well, there must be discipline. That's why in our Chinmaya Mission pledge, Gurudev tells us, we serve as an army, courageous and disciplined. If service has to happen well, it has to happen with discipline. Otherwise, we can't serve. Those who want to serve the society, please keep this in mind, that service must be accompanied with discipline. All disciplines indicate vairagya, kind of a self-control, one doesn't get carried away. And that levels of dispassion is very, very important. When we have that kind of a dispassion, we may even come across situations which could otherwise be very painful. We could take it in our stride. And to reach that goal, dispassion is important. Otherwise, we could be lost in every possible thing which comes on our way. That was the fifth. The last one, viveka, is needed because most of us live unconscious life. Ravana attacked Rama's army with Nagapasha, and that made everybody go into unconsciousness, swooned. And the effect of the poison was so high, they could not come back. All of them are living unconscious. They have to be brought back to consciousness. And the poison effect can go only when Garuda comes there. And Hanumanji goes and fetches Garuda quickly on Narad Rishi's advice. You see what a vital role Narad Rishi has played there. All of them are unconscious. And Narad advises Hanuman saying, quick, bring Garuda, we will save the day. And on Narad's advice, that way if we see Narad Rishi is someone which we should really, really respect and look up to. Unfortunately, our idea of Narad Rishi is very dangerous. What a pure, noble soul, Rishi Narad. He could inspire an advanced sage who revels in the highest knowledge, who has written Brahma Sutras, who has written Mahabharata, who has written Adhyatma Ramayana, Ved Vyas. Narad inspired Ved Vyas. Can you understand someone who is a knowledge personified was inspired by Narad Rishi? Narad Rishi also inspired Valmiki. You see the kind of people Narad has inspired. Narad could inspire a person like Valmiki, who was a dacoit, to change. A rough person to change into most noble person. And we could be benefited. Or an advanced knowledge personified, Vyasa Vishala Buddhe, a broad intellect which could accommodate everything, who could write a book with 100,000 verses. To read 25 verses a day, minimum if you do, it will take 10 years to complete. One reading Mahabharata. 25 verses a day if we take and read. Now that's Veda Vyas. Narad Rishi inspired him. After his inspiration, Vyasa wrote Bhagavatam. And he found that satisfaction which he was not having earlier. Not only people like that. Narad Rishi inspired Prahalad the child, Dhruva the child. He could inspire children and he could inspire advanced people. Both other ends, extremes, he could inspire them. A person who did not know anything about spirituality, like Ratnakar, was inspired by him. Or a person who knew everything about Shastra, Bhagavan Vedvyas, or a child like Dhruva, Prahalad, were inspired by him. Such a great rishi, we unfortunately look at him as a person who comes and creates confusion, brings in quarrel between people. What do we know about Narad Rishi? You see the kind of people who are inspired. We have Ramayana today. Valmiki was born out of Narad's inspiration. That Narad Rishi comes to the battlefield. On seeing this, probably no one was there to guide at that point. So immediately he tells Hanuman, saying, Hanuman, bring Garuda. And Garuda can save the day. And on the advice of Narad Rishi, Hanuman rushes out and brings Garuda. Garuda comes and removes the effect of the snake poison. Slowly, slowly that was removed. And all those who were unconscious came back conscious. Now this is very, very important. Like yesterday we discussed 5 activities. Learn to do it consciously. That can help us to meditate better. Because we need to live conscious life. Conscious living is very, very important. So if we can practice regularly, we can bring back a lot of consciousness in what we do. And also, in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the Sthita Prajna Lakshana portion, Bhagavan says there, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam. Wise man is awake, conscious to something, and ignorant is unconscious of that. What is that wise man is awake? He is awake to the Lord. And ignorant is unconscious of the Lord. And what the ignorant is awake, wide awake, fully conscious, the wise man doesn't pay any attention to it. What are we conscious of today? Self-image, very conscious. Isn't it? If someone says something, imagine how sensitive we become. We are conscious of unwanted things. Fully awakened to unwanted things. And things which are really important, which can make a change in our life, which can take us up further, on that we are unconscious. So, Viveka, Garuda represents Viveka. When the discrimination comes, we become conscious of what is essential. Because that's the job of Viveka. To know what is Nitya, what is Anitya. What is essential, what is non-essential in life. We may be spending whole lifetime on non-essentials. And on what is essential, minimum time given. That won't work. On what is essential, we have to spend time. That is discrimination. So on what is needed, let us become more conscious. We have been unconscious to various spiritual insights, learning, spiritual way of life, unconscious. Worldly life, very conscious. We know all about it. But what is needed actually, on that our knowledge is very, very less. So we need to balance this. That's how Hindu way of life is. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. All aspects of life we should be fully aware. With spirituality we should have. That's why our knowledge itself we have divided into 2. Paravidya, Aparavidya. Paravidya, highest knowledge. Aparavidya, lower knowledge. And you know what all constitutes as lower knowledge? The astronomy, the distance between the planets, the color of the planets, the size of the earth, all that ancient people discovered, they call all that as Aparavidya. Today we would claim, patent it, isn't it, as of absolute knowledge. Knowledge on medicine, our people said Aparavidya, it's not absolute, it is finite knowledge. Knowledge about stars, which is not easy. You know the distance, you know the stars, you know their effects, how they move, at what speed they move, what is their color, sitting quietly. Sitting in one place, the man is fully aware. The ancient Indian wisdom, whether it is science, whether it is medicine, whether it is metals, the iron pillar in Delhi which we have has not rusted till now. 1,500 years ago, you make something which has not rusted till today. Do you understand the knowledge about metals, what we had? Metallurgy. All that kind of a knowledge, economy, everything, the rishis say, these are brilliant, but they are finite knowledge. Aparavidya. Paravidya, absolute. So education can be complete only with these two. Para and apara should be together. Only apara. We don't have that is not education, that is incomplete. Only on the finite, and the infinite is forgotten. Self-knowledge is not there. Worldly knowledge is there. So there must be a combination. Today, that's unfortunately, education is focused only on one side. Aparavidya seemingly becomes more important to people than paravidya. Discrimination is necessary. Garuda is necessary. To know what is necessary, what is important, what is more important, that awareness should be there. We must be conscious of it. So paravidya and aparavidya. So how we spend our life? On aparavidya we go on spending so much of time ignoring paravidya. That's not the right way. We should be rooted in paravidya and then go and play with aparavidya. That combination is necessary. So unconscious people are. When Garuda comes there, this unconsciousness goes away. We become conscious of paravidya. So that is what the eagle is, discriminative power. That is necessary. We need to bring in this conscious living. We need to bring in this discrimination into everything we do in our life. They are very, very important.